Good evening, teachers. It's a pleasure you're here today. And believe me, this is going to be a good time for learning something new. And let me introduce our panelist today. She's from San Pedro Sula. She's really famous. She loves to sing. And she got a bachelor degree in marketing. She has 23 years of experience, teaching, and she's almost finishing the career of bilingual basic education. And please, let's give a warm welcome to Millicent Viera from San Pedro Sula. Millicent, this is your time.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you so that we can share a lot of our experiences, a lot of cool stuff that we have for the little ones. And I would like to share, thank you, by the way, Oscar, for introducing me. I hope you really have a good time. We learn a lot, and if you have any questions during the conference, you can start asking it in the chat. So then at the end, Oscar is going to be asking these questions. We are also going to be sharing with you some website pages so that you can also take advantage of them. Or if you wish, you can just do a short screenshot of every slide. Okay, so let's begin. Before we go straight to the content, let's read this quote. You know you're a teacher when you're having a bad morning until you get to work and see the smiles of those little faces, and somehow your troubles seem to melt away for a while. Doesn't that happen to you? And I'm really sure by this time, because of our situations, you're missing even the most naughtiest boy or girl in class, huh? Right? But that's because of our vocation, right? Because we're really missing them. Even though we are teaching them in a remote way, but we still miss that contact, right? We hope and pray that this situation lasts very short and that we can go back and show ourselves what we have, right? So in this moment, let's go to the next slide, and I'm going to talk about a lot of tools. There are many tools. Since we're in a remote learning mode, because of our confinement, we have to hop in the challenge of an online learning. So there is no other option than to do that, right? But it's always good to learn new things. And we'll keep learning many more apps or tools. Some may start trending. Some won't be so popular in probably a month or two. Who knows? But what's important is that we keep on learning and adapting to a constant change. I read a while ago something that really touched my heart, and it said, the person who really survives in the world and the situation is not the smartest person. It's not the strongest person. But it's the one who can be able to adapt to a challenge, to adapt to different changes. So if we have that ability of adapting to different changes, then we are winners, because we know as teachers we should be adapting to different stages every time. Okay, so I would like you to, or I'm inviting you to, please log into the following website. If you're using your laptop, you can use your mobile, or if you're using your cell phone, you can just move and open up a URL and then write menti.com, please. MENTI.com. And once you log into it, you can write this code. If you have a QR scanner, you can use this, by the way, too. But it's easier if you just write menti.com to answer the following question. Okay, so while you're doing that, I'm going to give you some time to see if you can log into it, because I'm going to ask you one question, and that way we're going to find out as many opinions as you have, or as many names for the following question that I'm about to ask you. Okay, so did everybody write the code? It's 363785. Okay, now once you have already logged into it, now I'm going to be sharing the screen of this website, which is called Mentimeter. Okay. Once again, if you don't remember what the name of in this case, the name of the page is www.menti.com, and you use the codes 363785. So let's wait a little while to see if you can log into it. Oscar, are you there?
Yes,
Yes.
and I'm here.
Yes, while the teachers are logging in, tell me, how many teachers do we have right now?
Well, I think 2 or 3 teachers are in your app.
Really? Right now? They're in the app?
Yes, because some of them wrote on the chat that it's done.
Okay, here we go. It's appearing. It's there, yes.
I am waiting another teacher because I was calling there.
Okay, wonderful. Now, okay, we have the first part. The first question is, well, it's the only question I'm asking. Name the 4 basic skills you know in preschool. Okay, we have guidance, we have discipline, we have patience, we have love. Do we have another one? Let's see if we have other teachers. From which schools do you recognize, Oscar, do we have right now? Because I know that it's from the central zone of our country all the way to the southern part of our country. So which school do you recognize, Oscar?
Well, let me see. Remember, I'm not working with preschool. Yes, with
I know.
elementary and high school. But I think all of them, they're ready to participate.
Wonderful, wonderful. And now I see another teacher writing. Aha, we have more. Yes, we have guidance. We have self-control. We have listening. We have creativity, discipline. Whoa, a lot of teachers are coming. Good. Wonderful. Remember the 4 basic skills of preschool. Some people may get a little bit confused, but you are right. And at the same time, we can complement other skills. So every word or every skill that you are writing it's right. Okay? Behavior, touching, creativity, listening, discipline, patience, writing, love, care, guidance, creativity. Great. Wonderful. Okay. Let's see if we have a couple more so that we can get back to the presentation. Excellent. Math, solving problems we have there. Speaking, self-control, guidance. If you notice, the one that has been repeated the most is the one who becomes even bigger, right, in size. So in the middle is the one that we say, that we read love, right? And that's the best, right? Because we know love turns the world, or as the song says, right? Love makes the world go round. And love is basically what we are really moved to as a vocation of being a preschool teacher. Okay, so I'm going to stop at this point and I will go back to my presentation. I just need to okay, so now I'm going to get back and I will back. Okay, let's see. There we go. So most of it was love, right? As we were saying. Yes, It's true. All of these words that you were mentioning were right, which are essential in preschool learning, right? But there are 4 basic skills that we need to really have in mind whenever we're teaching English to students. And of course, we have them there. Listening. Yes, I read it in the Menti activity. Speaking, reading, and writing. So that a student learns English, they should develop its listening and comprehension skills very well. This means that the child has the ability to understand the meaning, remember it, discuss it, relate it, and maybe retell it in their own words. In the English acquisition, there are 4 basic skills, and you saw them, right? Okay, in this case, listening and reading, we can call them the receptive skills, right? Because we are receiving the sounds, we're receiving the information, we process it, we understand it, we associate them, and relate them before we go to actually the productive skills, which are the speaking and writing. Okay, so let's go further. Since they are all interrelated, we can say that listening and speaking are the verbal ones. So I'd like to share with you these amazing tools. So if you have a pencil and a pen, you can start copying or writing down them. Amazing tools that you can use to create a digital resource and reinforce these skills, either in class or by sharing it with your students. But something that I really want to point out is that it's really important that parents help you at home. And you should be in constant communication with them. For which classes can we use these tools? Okay, we're going to be learning for which classes. Honestly, many of them. But it really works in improving spelling, phonics, pronunciation, and of course the listening and speaking skills. We're not only going to be talking about these 4, because besides these are just the basic ones for learning the English language, right? And English acquisition. But besides that, we know we do need to do other work, right? So that students can actually start preparing themselves whenever it's time to start writing. In this case, fine motor skills, right? So we're going to mention some of them further on. Let's begin with the first one. Good listeners become good communicators. The first tool that I would like to suggest you or present to you is called bookcreator.com. Okay, so let's see, how does it work? I'm going to be sharing the screen at this moment to see. Just give me a little second. I need to look, where is my book creator here? Okay, here we go. This is my book creator. Okay, and let's go to the first one. This is a website, and it's really, trust me, when I saw it and I learned it the first time, I said, bingo, this is what I really wanted it, because I have also been a preschool teacher. And you, at this point in this situation, you want students to not only be listening and watching images and interactive, but we also need them to listen to us so that we can be closer to them. So how can you put both of them together? Okay, we found this tool that it can help you too. And for example, this is a book about the census. If you notice, we have we have audio there too, so let's listen to it. Let's learn about the 5 senses. Okay, so that's my voice, and how could I do it? Okay, it's pretty simple. If you are very familiar of using Canva, then it looks a little bit like it. Okay, so what can you paste in it? You can paste some videos. Of course, the internet, it will have to, in this case, I have Mr. Binock's video here, and it's loading. And since I know it's going to take a little longer, I'm just going to go quickly to the next page. Then I have this other page, which is for
sight,
Then this other one,
I see a rainbow.
okay, if I go to the next page, this is if I am editing it, but if I want to like play it, I just click on the little play button, and that's how I turn the pages. See, now I can listen to it.
Touch, I can touch. Hear, I can hear the birds sing.
Okay, now you can even you can paste pictures, you can paste audios, and you can even write on it. If you notice, this is I'm missing one more sentence.
I can smell a rose.
And I've gave them an activity. But what happens if, okay, I'm missing one more, and I'm going to show you how can you do that right now. I'm going to click and edit it. I will look for I'll go to the pages, and then I want to insert one here, for example. So I'm going to insert it. And now in this page, what I do is that, as I was mentioning, which by the way, which was the sense that I was missing, I think is taste. That's the one that I'm missing. So I'm going to import, and you can import different things, different ways from Google Maps, and even from some files that you have previously downloaded. Okay, so in this case, let's say I'm going to go for Google, which is quicker, right? So I'm going to write sense of taste. Let's see if which pictures. Okay, no, I'm going to look for a mouth, maybe a mouth, an open mouth. Okay, let's see if I have one. Wait, maybe this one, right? Okay, I'll click on that one. Okay, so I can make it small. I put it in the center. What else can I do? Let's see if I want to make it bigger. I can add the text, taste. Then I'm going to put it in the center. What else can I do? And I can record the word, right? So in this case, I click into record, and I'm going to start recording at this moment. Taste. I can taste an apple. So I stop recording. I can listen to it.
Taste. I can taste an apple. So I stop.
And now if I need it, I'm just going to click there. And then this is where my audio icon appears. What happens if I want to make the word big? Okay, I would have to go and click into the eye, and I can move it so that it can be as big enough as you wish. What else can I do? Okay. What I can do is I can put it in bold. I can change the color. Let's say if I'm doing red here. What else can I do? I can add a shadow if I want to. I can go to the page. So if I want backgrounds of the page, so it won't be that only white, I can have like comic backgrounds if I want. I can have, if I want a paper background, if I need also borders or any designs that I wish. This case, okay, let's say if I want to be using this one. Okay, so that's as simple as that, right? Why is that? Because students don't know how to read yet. But you added the word there, but you added also the audio, right? So it is necessary. Now at this point, I'm done with all the pages, okay? And once I'm done, okay, I finished. Let's go back. And now let's play it. If I can get from the beginning. You can turn the pages, and you can do this when you're doing Zoom, for example, with your students, but at the same time, you can share it with your parents. You can share it in WhatsApp if you want. How can you do that? Wonderful. Okay, I click in those 3 buttons, and I need to publish it online, right? I publish it online, and then in here, there is some blue letters that says, copy the link public, and so that you can share it. So I click it in here, and what I'm going to do, let's see if it works. I'm going to go to your chat, and I'll see if I'm going to share it at this point. Could you please go to the chat and click on it to see if it works, and then you write yes or no. And while you're doing that, while you're checking that in the chat, I'm going to continue and set the rest. Tell me, how does it go? If you were able to open it or not. Okay, let's see if we have people in the chat. We have one. Yes. Okay, Miss Nelly Daniela Espinal says yes, it works. I can open it. You can even listen to it, right? So this is one way you can work with and send it to your parents through email or through a WhatsApp group, right? And it really works. And what you need is your creativity, right? Your motivation, your attitude, and you can go through and use it, of course. You can share it into your Google Classroom.
Really?
Yeah, of course. Yes?
One teacher can at least and the activity. So try to explain again what to do.
Okay. I'll do, well, anyways, I'm going to do another one because I have 3 samples here, and when I do it, she's going to find out how do we do it because the procedure is the same. Okay, so and if we wanted a new book, if you want to create, you have a button that says new book, and you can create your new book just to help the teacher who couldn't really understand what I was trying to say. Okay, the way you create your book is by adding, for instance, if I wanted to add another page, you can, I'm going to do a new one too, so that you can take a look at it to see how to do it. But if, for example, if you are editing it and you have one there and you wanted to add another page, you just click into the 3 buttons and click insert. So you will have a new page, and in that page, then you can click into the plus sign. You can import the files, and here are different ways you can import them. And what else can you do? You can also, if you want to take a picture of yourself, you can click into the camera and you can automatically take a picture of yourself there too. And there is one more for pencil that we're going to be using in another book that we can also use to write. We can add the text and we can record messages too, right? What else? Once we have already included all of these, even some shapes, we can include them. You can click into the I button so that you can do arrangements just like in the backgrounds, right? So you can do them very nice, okay? And at the end, you just need to click into read book and you start all over again, okay? Okay, that's how we work with this book. Now let's get back to the presentation, okay? So as I was mentioning too, not only you use this tool for this kind of exercises, right? You can also use them whenever you are teaching math or science or any other subject, right? You wish, as long as you have your creativity and all the resources, it's okay. So the next resource that I'm going to be showing you is called Vocaro. Vocaro is mainly so that you can give instructions, you can tell us a short story, and so that students can start developing their listening skills. And besides that, they can even record something and they can send it to you. Okay? So that's how Buckaroo, and I'm going to be showing you at this point how does it work. Okay? This is how Buckaroo works. It's pretty simple. And this is the way it will work. Okay. You have a red button in here so that you can record your voice. Let's say that I want to greet my kids, and I'm going to click on it, and you say, "Hi guys, I'm so happy to see you today. What dress are you wearing, Camila?" for example, right? Okay, so then I will stop it, and I have the option to listen to it.
And you say, "Hi guys, I'm so happy to see you today. What dress are you wearing, Camila?" for example, right? Okay, so then I will stop.
And after that, then you can, it says you can either do different options. So you see where can you share them. You can even use a QR scanner as well. You can download it and have it in your computer. Or what I would normally do, which is very quick, is just to click this other option. And the same way, I'm going to go to the chat and I'm going to share it with you right now. And now you click on it to see if you can hear the audio. And this is the way you can share that with them too. So what happens if you want your students to practice the pronunciation of a sight word, for example, or 3 sight words? So you can give them a message, and then they can go back and they can use that same tool, and they can send it to you back so that you can listen to their pronunciation as well. Okay? Cool. So Misaida Mejia says, nice. That means she heard it. Okay? So this is another tool you can use to reinforce the listening skills. Okay? Now let's see. What else? Let's get back to our presentation. Okay. Remember that, as I was saying, that an adult, or in this case the parents, are very, I know that at this point some parents are working in another place and it's a little difficult, right? But in this case, since we know preschools won't be able to do many tasks and many things, right, that you would like to, it's very important for you to keep in touch with your parents too. Okay, let's get back to the next one. For reading and writing, okay, we went through the one before, which was listening and speaking, right? Okay, Book Creator is also good for reading and writing. So let's get back to Book Creator, where we were, so that I can show you how can we use that. Okay, so at this point I'm going to be moving this. Okay, listening, in this case writing, reading and writing. If you notice, I have a phonics book. I created a phonics book. I pasted a picture. In this case, there were rhyming words and the sounds of each part. So let's play it.
B, b, at,
And if we put them together,
bat, bat.
okay, so I'll go to the next page, and here is another way I can play a video. One way was to download it from your computer and then you can just paste it there. But there's another way. You can look for the URL in YouTube, for example, and then you can paste it. And how do we normally do that? As I was mentioning here, right? You read an ad, import, and then here is where you can look for in another web page for YouTube. You can copy the link and then you click on it, and you can also paste it. And this is one of the ways that I did it here in this other page. Okay, let me play it.
Oh, GT.
Hello, kids.
Today we are going to rhyme. Are you ready to rhyme with me? Let's go! Cat, bat, hat, rat, cat, bat.
Okay, so that's how we can also paste in a video, right? Okay, so now at this point, I'm going to go back to the presentation. And let's carry on. So Book Creator is an excellent tool we can use when working in reading, when teaching spelling and phonics, right? Another resource is a sight word app. This sight word app is in Play Store, and it's really cool because you know how important it is for us to show our students how to read a sight word, and not necessarily the sight words follow a grammatical or a spelling pattern or a spelling rule, right? So they just need to learn the word as it is and pronounce the word correctly. So sight word, in this case, this is the application. You can find it in Google Store. That's Play Store, sorry, in Play Store. That's where you can find it, and it's really quick. They just need to drag and drop those. They pronounce the word, and they just need to make the word completed, and that's how you work with it. In writing, we can also use Book Creator too to teach them how to write a letter in pre-writing or in the pre-productive level. And in this case, I'm going to be showing you how to use Book Creator to work with writing as well. Okay, so let's get back to Book Creator. Okay, and here is my page. Hey, Miss, you did like a board. Yes. How did you do it? Okay, what I did is I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to create my new book for those who don't know yet how to do it. Okay, and I'm going to click a new book. When I click a new book, they give me 6 options. Normally I pick this one called a paisado or cuadrado, right? Because this other is just kind of like when you're trying to do a collage or something. So I normally get the big ones. And what I do is that, okay, now I'm going to be adding a background to it. And the background in this case, I want the paper backgrounds. So you have a squared background, even for very, very small squares, the normal lines, and of course the preschool lines. You even have for music too. Okay, so that's how I created their one. And at this point, let's say I'm teaching my students how do I write the letter A. So what I do is that I'm going to click my addition button in here, and I click pencil. Okay, I'm going to be using a marker. I want to use, yes, the same thick and the colors that I want to use. Let's say I'm using this blue one. And then, of course, I'm going to start telling my students that I'm going to start from the upper line. I will write a slant line to my left. Then I'm going to write another slant line to my right. And my last line is a horizontal line from left to right. So this is how I start. Now, can I add other stuff? Yes, I can add some emojis. So in case you wanted to have one done before, I'm sure that students are very, very familiar with it, and they really enjoy them too. And that's how I work with the writing in there. Okay, what else can I do? In this case, I'm going to be clicking hecho or done. I'm going to go back to my books, to my library in this case, and if I want to add a worksheet, yes, I can, and I need to practice with them. How can I use this? Okay, I just simply do the same. Remember, I go and click into the plus sign and I import a worksheet. Not all of the worksheets will be able to be uploaded, because of copyrights rules, right? So that's why we not necessarily would be able to upload them. But if there are some that they could be allowed, then they will tell you. If not, they're going to give you a notice there that you can't. In this case, I could upload this one, and I'm going to be using the same, the pencil, and I'm going to be changing into a purple one, for example, and I'm going to start teaching them again, right? How I write on it, right? Okay. We do need to have practice, right? Because normally, unless you have a special pen, right, for your computer, you can do that, right? Right now I was just doing it with my mouse. Okay, so I did done here, and I'm gonna go back to my screen, and besides all of these, I have one more which we are going to be working on even farther, which is the live worksheets. Maybe you are familiar with it, and that is like to make a normal worksheet become interactive. Before doing that, I would like to share with you some tips whenever we are using Zoom. There are many tutorials also, right? But we know that nobody knew how to use these tools, even though they were here before the confinement. But now they, of course, they have become specialized for us. But even though it's there and we may know how to use them somehow, it is very important for us to have in mind these tips. Okay, the first one, yes, we do need to have eye contact. So we need to have our device in front of us so that your eye can be with your camera, right? Okay, the next thing is you would have to test your microphone and your camera before you do that. How will I do that? I'm going to be giving you, in this case it's already there, it's an online page. It's called onlinemictest.com. This is done right before you do the Zoom session. Okay, so let's try. I'm gonna go there to the Zoom section, in this case the page, which is microphone, and I'm going to share it with you. Microphone test. The way I test my microphone, of course I have my headset ready. I go to the tool set, I go microphone test, and there is a rectangle here, and I'll click in there. And if you hear I'm speaking hello 1 2 3, you can see the lines are moving, which means that my microphone is working. Okay, now the other way that I can use it is by looking for my webcam test. Okay, at this point you're going to be seeing also a square, but if you notice something at this particular moment, if I click in it, you're not going to see anything. Why is that? Because my camera is already being used, right, by Zoom. So that's why I was mentioning that you would have to do this test right before you do your Zoom session, right? But of course, now I know that my camera is working because you're actually looking at me, okay? So this is how the online mic test worked. It has worked a lot for me, and I'm sharing it with you, of course, right before you have or you want to try it before you start your classes. Let's get back to my presentation. And another thing you do have to have in mind is your background. We need to be very careful to not to lead to wandering eyes. If we want to have it as simple, as plain as possible, you may have some decorations in the back, but if you put too many decorations, as we know, even in our classrooms, then students are going to start wandering around. As I'm really sure at this moment, when you saw my Zoom background, you may probably see, what book does she have? Oh, she has a trophy. What else does she have? I will start wondering, right? What we don't want is specifically that, right? And we would have to, of course, we can have some decorations, but try not to overfill them, right? Next, what other tips? Lighting. Lighting is very important. Your face should be lighted from every direction so that they can feel close to you and you can feel live, right? Okay. Something else, of course, you should know by this time how do you work and do Zoom sessions. Before you do your classes, you tell them the rules, right, to keep their microphones off, or you would have to set them off before. The title, the date, the hour, the zone, passwords, and so on and so forth. The background is also very important. You just need to just be very careful in case the background really works on you or not. Sharing your screen or the top part of your Zoom panel. Okay, you are very familiar by now that you have your microphone enabled, your camera button too, how many participants are there, and there are also other buttons that are very interesting. Have you had the experience whenever you're teaching something that suddenly a boy or girl starts writing and starts making a lot of mess there, right? It has happened, yes, and that's because whenever you have a Zoom meeting, then the audience is also going to be having a little pencil and they can be doing notes in case the teacher allows them, right? But when we have some accidents, whenever we start getting filled, what we do is that we click in the note button and there's another panel that will open up and we can select there to erase all of the drawings, right? Or to erase only the drawings that you have done. Okay, so for example, if I'm going to try at this moment, I'm going to try this one. Let's see, it says here to draw. Okay, and what color do I want? If I want red, let's see if I can do that. You can see it, right? Okay, so what can I do? If I want to erase that, it goes erase them all and it's over. What else can you do in case you want to avoid these accidents? In the very last part, there are three buttons, right? You click on it and then it says there, disable the notes for the participants. So you can click on it there and it will automatically disable it. And something else, it can also, for another purpose, in case you are interacting with your students and your students want to make a line and you give them a chance to, they can make a line. But besides that, you can enable the fact that a student can appear, the name of a student can appear. So you can click in there that says mostrar nombres de los anotadores, right? Writing the name of the one who wrote, okay? And that's how can you work that. Another thing that I would like to share with you is that whenever we are sharing our screen, sometimes our audience does not listen to the music you're playing. But there are two options you can do. One is right whenever you are about to share your screen, you need to be sure that there are two little squares on the button, the one that says compartir video de la computadora, and the other one may say optimizar the video, right? And you click on both of them. But in case you forget and you share the screen, there's no problem. You can go back to the little three lines there and at the top panel, and then it opens up and you can click on them because it will appear there too. Something else that you can share there with your students, but that's for like the older ones, is that you can share the remote control to your students. But in this case, I would recommend you definitely that a student should be in a laptop, because when we do it with somebody that has a cell phone or with somebody that has a tablet, then the distances, whenever, even they may see that they're connecting, for example, but it will not happen because of the same resolution, right? Because the computer is bigger. So it's better to work on with the computer. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation, and now I'm going to be sharing with you other apps that work with the motor skills. In this case, I'm going to be sharing with you the first one here, the blue one that you saw here. It's called Writing Wizard. In Spanish, escribo en letras de imprenta. You practice your strokes. Students are going to be able, you have to tell your parents to download. These are all, most of them are in a Play Store. You can download them. You can ask your parents to download them so that they can practice. This is for them to practice the strokes, to how to write capital letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and create their own words. Second one, the one that we have another A here. The second one is called 1, 2, 3's, ABCs. Use your finger to write the letters, numbers, and shapes. Next one. This other one with the girl with the 2 ponytails in here is called Preschool Learning Games. Niños preescolares is in Spanish, the name. For practicing discrimination, music, colors, their mazes, memory games, and a lot more. Then we have a fourth one, and this one is called Preschooler Montessori. Preschooler Montessori, as the word says, Montessori, and it's very typical, right, because of its discipline. This is a paid version, but you can still play with them a couple, like for their tryout period, right? What they do is that you practice math, English, draw, logical programming, and logical thinking. And something that's very peculiar with Montessori style is that it places the kids in a normal life skill situation. So there are some also parts in the application in which students can work that skill as well. Now we're going to another application, and that is, of course, kids preschool puzzle. Puzzles can't miss, right? And these puzzles can be depending on the different levels. We're going to another one that's called Dexteria Junior. This one, Dexteria Junior, unfortunately is not for Android phones. It's just for iPhone. So if you have an iPhone, well, good. And it's really good because this works a lot with students that have problems with dysgraphia. So it works with them a lot. Okay, so now we're going to go with, of course, math skills. They do need to practice that, and it's with different games. They do simple math for kinder and even first grade. You can even choose a language, right? So they can practice that. Okay, now I'm going to be also sharing with you another application which is called Letters and Sounds, and this is for Richmond, the ones that we have, right? In this case, Letters and Sounds are excellent for you to work with phonics, right? Pronunciation. And they have memory games too. Recording activities also for the listening skills and pronunciation. Another app that I would like to share with you, it's called the 3D Pictionary that goes with Dino and Me. Okay, and you can also download them in Play Store as well. And it works for vocabulary, phonics, and spelling. Okay, there's one that's called Spell Blast. But before going to the Spell Blast, I want to share the one that says Crickets. Crickets is really, it's one that I really like a lot because even though it goes by units, and what it works is the very fine motor skills. So students are going to be using their little fingers to make lines from the top to the bottom, from left to right, horizontal, and diagonal. And these are by tasks, right? They're going to be getting rewards by doing them correctly, like 3 tryouts. So they're very good so that they can practice on those skills. So now it's time for me to show you what Spell Blast is about. In this case, I don't know if you're familiar with them, but if we have, for example, if we have compass, if your school has compass, right? In this case, the starters, we can also use them. And I'm going to be sharing the screen in a moment. We can also use that. Okay. How can you use, in this case, spell blast? Is this icon that we have here on the top. This, of course, it works with pronunciation and spelling. How does it work? Okay, well, we have different options. We can even have worldwide games. You can play from a mix of different words that are still from the different logs in Compass, but you can also practice the ones that have or that correspond with, in this case, kinder, right, which is prepa, right, or third grade of preschool, and they have all the first topic, all of the topics, and the way we play with them.
I have 10 fingers.
This way. They listen to the word. If they can't listen,
10. I have 10 fingers.
so they spell it, T-E-N, and then
Pod. There are peas in a pod.
pod, P-O-D.
Dot. Find the black dot.
Dot. I'm going to do it a little fast, okay, because of time.
Pen. My pen is blue.
Pen,
Mat. The mat is small.
mat.
Cat. Her name is Cat.
Oh, cat, her name is with a capital K. Cat.
Net. The net is big.
Net,
Nod. We nod our heads.
nod.
Tap. The tap is new.
Tap.
Map. That
and
is a
have
map.
more. Okay, so we pretended to go on a journey to look for a treasure chest, right? So that's how we played. Also, in this case, the spelling blast, which is in our Compass logs, right? Okay, what else? Now let's see if we can come back to our normal presentation, and let's see. Okay, so as you can see, there are many tools we can use so that students can really reinforce these skills. And now at this point, I'm going to share with you something different. Besides all of these other skills, we have drills, we have games that can reinforce these skills. Okay, the first game that I would like to share with you is called Scavenger Hunt. I'm sure you have heard about them, and if you haven't, well, it's about asking somebody, in this case your students, to look for something. Of course, you do need to give the instructions to your students, right? Like, for example, that they have 30 seconds to go get something that you're going to be asking them, that they would go home and look for them in their house, but they would not be able to run. And as soon as they're here, they come back, sit down, and put their object in their lap, waiting for them to receive their turn to speak. Okay, so another way that I could like make it even much interesting is by adding like a countdown. Countdown like what? Like maybe a 30-second countdown. Okay, like how? Like so. I'm about to show you this one. And what you do is that you go to YouTube, and you can write there. In this case, this one's called 1 minute timer countdown with music, and it starts like this. So students are going to go and look for the object you're going to be asking them, and by the time, I'm going to quick. When time's up, this is how it's going to sound, right? So students know that at this time they should be seated, right? Okay, so that's how we can also make it fun, right? With some music on it, right? Because music is also really essential too whenever we're teaching. Okay, what other things can we use to help with as drills? I love brain breaks. Brain breaks not only work, as the word says, brain breaks is when your brain is really saturated with a lot of information and you do need to take a break. So your brain needs a break. And besides doing a break, it's exercising, right? It's moving and It's really boosting out those two hemispheres. Like what kind? Okay, I'm going to be doing some and I'm going to be asking you to be doing it with me, all right? Okay. With your brain breaks, what you do is that you're really testing coordination, cognitive stimuli, and of course having fun, right? Okay, the first one that is very similar, I mean not similar, very, very familiar is the word, is that, okay, I will start putting my right hand on my head and I'm going to start patting it first. Okay, pat. And then with my left hand, I'm going to be making a circles in my tummy. So I pat and making a circle, pat and making a circle, pat and making a circle, and now it's time to change. Pat and making a circle, pat and making a circle, pat and making a circle in my tummy. Okay? So now I'm done. Another way, of course, you are going to be probably saying, okay, it's easy, but for kids it's not that easy, right? So you're going to do it a little slow. Now the next brain gym that I would like to share with you is like, there's a hole, there's a gun. It was even tough for me. Let's see if I can do it this time. Hole gun, hole gun, hole gun, hole gun, hole gun, hole gun. Try it. Hole gun, hole gun. Now you're going to do it faster. Hole gun, hole gun, hole gun, hole gun, hole gun, hole gun. Okay, so what did you do? Again, your nerves, all the transmissions, right? Everything is starting to set, right? Even you can do that before your classes too, so that they can be awake and they're ready to learn. So it is much efficient when you do these brain gyms. Okay, there's another one that you can do with music that I'm going to be sharing with you. Maybe you have heard one that's called Choco Choco Lala. And I used to play that with my kids and they really enjoyed it. So I'm going to be showing it with you. And since we know that whenever we're doing it, the sounds in Zoom, that's the only disadvantage about this tool is that you can't be doing it and saying it at the same time. I'm playing the music at this point. But since it's a video, you can try and do it with me, okay? So are we ready? Okay, here we go. Oh, I forgot to mention. The way you do it is you go choco, choco, la, la, choco, choco, te, te, choco, la, choco, te, choco, la, te. So according to the music, you're going to be doing this.
Choco choco la la, choco choco te te, chocolate chocolate chocolate, choco choco la la, choco choco te te, chocolate chocolate.
Now slow.
Choco choco la la, choco choco te te, chocolate chocolate. Choco choco la la, choco choco te te, chocolate chocolate. Choco choco la la, choco choco te te, chocolate chocolate.
Then it starts getting faster, right? So, but at the end, I'm sure that whenever you're finished, students are really going to be even singing all over the time, right? So it's really fun. You are really accomplishing your goal, which is to prepare your students to so that they can have much more oxygen in their brain and they could have fun, right? Remember, when students are motivated and they're very interested, it's 100% that they are going to be acquiring what you're about to teach them. Okay, so now let's continue. I think you are watching my, yes, you are. Okay, at this point, now the next suggestion that I'm about to give you, a drill, is it's a game called Guess Who. How do we play Guess Who? or adivina, adivinador. What you do is that you're going to imitate any profession, any animal or character, and then students, of course, it has to be a profession that they're very familiar, right, that they know. And then the students are going to come and guess, right? What are we, guess what you are showing them, right? What are we trying to work here? We are trying for them to, of course, doing cognitive stimulus and to work with expressions. Because if one of them gets it right, then they are the one who's going to be acting out another character. Now, the next game is called collaborative story. With collaborative story, what you do is that you start a made-up story, your own story. And then suddenly a minute ago you were going to stop and you're going to say, okay, Juanita, you continue. And then Juanita is going to continue, but she has to remember the characters, the scene, right? The most important, the plot of the story. And whenever she's done, you call out everybody, and everyone is going to be making that story. And you can even add, instead of making a normal "I and they lived happily ever after" story, you can make a silly story, right? And I'm sure that they're going to really laugh and enjoy. Okay, what are we working there with a collaborative story? We are working works on problem solving, creativity, cognitive stimulus, imagination, coordination, and also memorization and teamwork, right? Since everybody is enriching that story. Next, we're going to a next drill, which is called motor syllable. With the motor syllable, what you do is that you're going to be having 5 vocabulary side words, 5 vocabulary words or side words, and you would have to do an exercise with them, separating the syllables. So for example, you're going to be doing standing up and you're going to tell them, okay, now I would like you to be doing jumping jacks, but according to the sight word that I'm about to tell you. So if I said I am, students are going to go I am. Okay, then now the next one, into, and that's how you will continue, right? And what are you working? You're working with rhythm, you're working with coordination too, cognitive and physical stimulus, okay? They're acting, especially the ones that are really kinesthetic, right? It works a lot with them. Now we're going with another one, which is called a sketch puppet. You tell the parents that students will do a sketch using their stuffed animal or their teddy bear, even if a Barbie can be there too, right? But they're just going to be creating the sketch, and each you have to do the example as well, right? So you would have to be doing something like this. Hello everyone. Hi, my name's Dino. It's a pleasure to meet you. So once you have done your sketch, right, then students are going to either, you can ask them to record them in their cell phone and send them, or they can prepare on one special day, like maybe play day on a Friday, and they come and do their expression, making sure they don't appear, right? So what they're doing, and they're working in this case, is body expression, acting, cognitive stimulus, problem solving, and you can also evaluate coherence, which is really important as well too. Okay, the last game that I would like to share there with you is called a rally letters. Rally letters, for this you're going to be asking an adult or your parents to help you out and place the child like 1 meter distance. You're going to ask them to have some white paper in front of their device with pencil. So you're going to be asking your students, okay, we're going to be, everybody, let's march. And they're going to be marching, or the activity you suggest them to do, marching. And then whenever you ask them, you can tell them, okay, now come and write the word cat. So they're going to come here and write the word cat and then show it to you. And you will be evaluating them, or they can have the chance to discuss it or socialize it. Okay? And with this drill, are we working? We are working fine motor skill because they're writing down, cognitive skills, memorization. They're strengthening their conditional abilities because they're doing their exercises too, right? Okay? So these are some of the drills or games I wanted to share with you too. Now, if we're talking about some web pages, you can have the chance to make a short sprint shot there with this slide. And we can start with the first one, which is called Starfalls. I'm just going to be showing you some web pages that are very, very useful at this point. Okay? So I'm going to be doing that right now, sharing you the web pages. The first one is called Starfall. Starfall. Here's the environment you're going to see. We can choose the grades. In this case, I'm going to look for kindergarten. And then after that, of course, you have many others that you can choose. And in this case, I'm going to go to the geometry and measurement part. All of these pages, because of the same situation that we have gone through worldwide, these pages are putting some exercises or pages that need to be paid, but of course they give you some free shots. If you can use these, the ones that you see them here are free, except for the ones that are in gray. But the one that really caught my attention was this one. It's a 3D space.
Welcome to 3D Space. Arrow key panel activated. Activity initializing. Please place the cube in front of the cylinder.
Okay, so they give you an instruction there. Please place the cube in front of the cylinder. So we're going to take the cube where the X is, and you're using the directions there. They're finding their self in space, right? Following the instructions.
Yes, you place the cube in front of the cylinder.
Okay, so I'm going to stop here.
Thank you.
Just to show you that these are the types of games that we have in Starfall. Let's get to the next one. The other one is called PBS Learning Media. PBS Learning Media was a channel. I think it is still a channel, but what they have done is that they have created also their social help, and they created a foundation. In this case, it's a .org for different levels, right? What you can do in this case, you can either go to the preschool area here, or we can look for them in here. In this case, pre-K, I'm going to look for them here. And you can choose the discipline you would like. In this case, which are the subjects. Let's choose math. And the type of activity that I would like to choose is either video, interactive lesson, lesson plan. Here's an interactive one. Okay, and these were cartoons that the TV channel produced, but they created them, or they converted them into games. So we can take a look at them. Oh, let's look at this one. Okay, let's play it. So now I'm going to wait for it to be load. Play.
Oh, Knights of the Round Table, I've lost.
I skipped it because of time. It's just an
Okay,
introduction of the
let's
task
test
that they
out the
need
net
to do.
first. Great! See? The net moves with you. You got it.
You move it with the
Okay,
net.
now let's start hunting for shapes. Will you help me find my jewels that are shaped like this? This is a cylinder. A cylinder is a solid shape that usually looks like a tube with a circle on each end. Woohoo!
So they're moving
Woohoo!
the net from one side to another.
Woohoo!
And they're also practicing their math skills.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to cancel this one and I'm going to the next one. Here's the other web page called abcya.com. And what I specifically recommend in here are some skills like sorting, counting, that are also really important. So in this case, I log into Kinder. I look for either skills in here, or I can write it here. In this case, it's sorting, counting, and here's one. The name of the game is called Fuzz Bugs, Counting, Sorting, and Comparing. So they're very cute. These are little balls there. Okay, let's play it then. Fuzzy balls. Okay, if you want to go get some coffee, you may get some coffee, but quickly get back here because we're still missing a very important part. Okay, so now let's click on it.
Fuzz bugs, counting, sorting, and comparing.
Let's play it. They have to sort the colors.
Sort the fuzz bugs by color.
So see, we have the
Be
colors here.
careful. Be careful. Whoa! Put me in the right spot. Where do I go?
And I'm gonna get a little faster.
Where do I go? Be careful. Put me in the right spot. Whoa! Where do I go? Where do I go? Whoa! Where do I go? Put me in the right spot. Put me in the right spot. Where do I go?
But if you notice, they're also working on their fine motor skills because they are using their mouths. Yes, of course,
Let's count the number of fuzz bugs in each jar. Tap the jar to select it.
Okay, so that's just one of the games that I wanted also to show you, that your Zoom become much more than dynamic, and that's if we use the online stopwatch.com. And in this case, this is a crane machine, and the way we work with the crane machine is that we click and it picks, and it's the turn of James. So when you're having a Zoom, you can say, okay, James, now can you please tell us, and you ask a question that you're going to be asking them. How does that work? We click here, and there is a name, and this is a default name, right? But you would normally fill in the names of your students, and then you just go click, and it's set, and then you can do it. Okay. Here's another option that if you want to take Sophia out so that she does not have another chance, and you click and remove. Otherwise, she would go back into the pile and she would be playing once again. So that's how we can also simply play or make it more fun. Okay, so now let's get back to the presentation. Oh, I forgot to mention that here we are now. I'm going to be showing you other important or cool stuff that in this case Richmond offers you in Dino and Me, and in Crickets, and even in my own. Okay, so right now I'm going to be showing you, in this case we have this other platform called Dino and Me. I hope you are looking for, yes, you can see it. Okay, just give me a second. I'm just taking a look at it. Okay, this is the environment of Dino and Me here in Richmond, and we can watch, you can use also some interactive flashcards.
Karate class. Science class.
Okay, next one.
Soccer class.
So you can also be, you can also share them with your students, okay? That's how we can also be using Dino and Me. But what about Crickets? Crickets is another Richmond book for preschool, and we can work the values, because you know values are really important for their social interaction, right? We have interactive games in here, and at the same time we have some videos here too. Okay, so now I can play, in this case, the video.
Hi.
That's an introduction, but they are going to be, it's called Carla and Friends too. And they have like different episodes that have to do with values. For example, this one is about respect, the other one about washing your hands, and there are other videos that have to do with values too. Another cool that reinforces the 4 skills in this case is called let me see, it's called My Own. But now since I was for a long time without showing it, then the program closed, but I'm going to be sharing it with you in a moment too, so we can know how does that work. And in this case, My Own works a lot because they are some audiobooks. I'm looking for them. Where are they? Because they are audiobooks. So in this case, let's look for them. Okay, so in this case, I have previously logged and searched for, because you can sort them for different criterias. You can look for the preschool books, and you can also use and reinforce your listening skills, your speaking, and your pronunciation. In this case, we can listen to the audiobooks from My Own. In this case, start. And something cool about it is that we can start the book.
City Train, written by Adria F. Klein, illustrated by Craig Cameron.
Something cool about it is that you can click into the settings and you can speed, right, the reading, or you can make it slow. So if I want to go to the next page, and I can click on play.
City Train went to work.
If I want to do it quickly, for example.
City Train went to work.
And if I want to do it slow.
City Train went to work.
So because we know students at their age are not that fast, right? And also the words are being highlighted. Okay. So now we're going to go to a very interesting part, which is to know how can I change these if I have some worksheets, so that I don't have to be sending it to my parents, and that they could write it and then take some pictures. How can I do that? Okay. A good thing that you can do in this case is by using a tool called Live Worksheets. And I'm about to show you the icon here. Here we go. Live worksheets work very well because you are transforming that PDF file, that Word file, or that picture into an interactive. So, and the way we work with them is by using some codes. For example, if we want to have some pages, some worksheets that is matching, the code in this case would be join number 1 with join number 1, join 2 with join 2. If we are going to be doing filling the blanks, we need to, first of all, in every part, we need to limit our space wherever we want that to become an interactive. Okay, so just to be sure, the codes that I have been presented in here, and you can screenshot them and so that you can have them in mind. And fill in the blank is just answer, right? Match join 1 with join 1, if that is a dot to dot as well, a worksheet. If we're going to use drag and drop, the code is drag :1 with drop :1. Multiple choices. We have 2 ways of doing multiple choices. One that we can say select :no. If it is the one, which is the correct one? Select :no, select :no. Only the correct one you write select :yes. And the other multiple choice is you're going to be, it's like a window that opens up with the different choices. So you would have to write choose :1 with a slanted line, 2, and the correct answer has to have an asterisk. Then we have the last one, which is a sound. We can also add a sound in our worksheets. So let's go to look for it, and I'm going to be showing you how do we work with them. Okay. I'm going to be asking you if you can please turn your microphones off so that we cannot have any interruptions. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm over here and I'm going to be sharing you the worksheet at this point. In this case, the URL is called liveworksheets.com. Okay, you create your own account. Normally these accounts can be with your Gmail account. So if you don't have a Gmail account, it's time to start getting into it, because normally a lot of these pages will be asking for them too. Okay, so after you have created your own account, in this case, I have already or previously done mine, and I'm going to be showing you how or the types of exercises that you can work with them. For example, I'm going to be doing in this case, the fill in the blanks. So this one, I just write a P, a C, an M, a D. Let's say if I make a mistake and I write an H and then an R, and I'm finished. So I click finish, and they give me two options. You can if you have your email, you can have two options too. Either the parents are going to be sending the homework to the account that you created, or they can simply just check the answers, make a screenshot and send it to you, either if you are having an account either in Compartir or your WhatsApp or your email. Okay, so you check in this case. In this case, I check my answers, and when you look at it, you have 8 out of 10, right? So in this case, why? Because I made a mistake right in here. How do I do that? Okay, I'm going to click in edit. Every time, as I said before, when I want to create my own worksheet, I have to limit my space. That means I need to open a box where I want that part to become an interactive place. Okay, so I created my space in here in every, that means on the line, and then after that I just simply wrote the answer that I wanted to be right. In this case, I wrote a capital P and a lowercase p, because students can be clicking or how do you call it? Writing the D, a capital D or a lowercase d, p, and it'll be okay. So that's why I wrote the two options. And that's how I do the fill in the blanks. This is the easiest one, right? You just remember, we have to just leave the space first, and then we can add the correct answer. And whenever you're ready, then you click into try, and then you can try it. If it is correct, well, of course, once you have done it, you have to hit in the finish button, and when you get your answer, that means it works. What happens if we make a mistake? No problem. The same program is going to be telling you you made a mistake, and it will show you where exactly did you do the mistake. Okay, so now let's look for another one. Here I'm going to show you from my worksheets, another worksheet, the matching one. The matching one, if you notice, if I want to do it at this point, whenever you put your mouse, it turns into a pencil. That means it's ready. D will go with dog, J will go with jump rope, C with camel, P with pear, T with truck, G as in grapes, S as in snake. So when I'm done, I hit finish, and now it asks me if I want to be sending it to my teacher or if I just want to check my answer. In this case, I'm doing check my answer, and I got 10 out of 10. How did I do this? Okay, I'm going to click edit it. Then I'm going to show you how do you upload them. Okay, remember, as I was mentioning, you need to limit the space. All of the spaces are already there, and the code is join. So the D had to be joining with dog, right? So I went join, 2 points, right? A colon, 1. And I will go where the dog, and join, colon, 1. That means that 1 and 1 go together. And that is the way that I continue with the rest. Join 2 with join 2. Join 3 with join 3. But don't forget, you need to put the 2 colons. And when I'm done, I simply just check it. At this point, I'm not going to do it because you already saw how it worked. But if it works, then I can hit the button save. When I save it, then it's going to be asking me. First, I'm going to be writing the name of the worksheet, and I have 2 choices. If I want to share my worksheet with others, because this is like having a library with different books too, with different worksheets. So if I want to do that, I can. If I want to keep it private, I leave it. I really recommend you to use it private. Why is that? Because it will only allow you to share your own worksheets. That means the ones that you created your own. Because if you try to use a worksheet that has been already done and you make it interactive, then you're going to have problems with the copyright rules. And what they are going to do is that they're going to shut your account in Live Worksheet. So I recommend you to do it and leave it in private. Now, the only difference is that when you have it in private, there are only, you can file only 30 worksheets. What does that mean? That whenever you get to worksheet 31, you would have to either change it or remove the last one that you know that you're not going to be using anymore. Okay, that's the only fact that you do have to take in account. If you don't need, what happens if you didn't want or you didn't like this worksheet? You can also click into the discard button. That was just to erase it. I'm not doing this one because it is already uploaded there. Okay. Another one, I'm just showing you how do you do it. And for this one that I'm about to show you, I'm going to be sharing it with you in the chat. The drag and drop. If you notice, I have the word blue and I'm moving the word blue, the word red, the word yellow, the green, and then I hit finish. I check and I hide it correctly. Okay, so now what am I doing? What do I need? Which is my code. The code is the same with join, that you look for the one that corresponds, but in this case the code is different. You are going to make your space where you want it to become interactive, write the word drag, because that's the one you will drag with the number, and you are going to place drop in the one that corresponds with the same number, right? So if we see here, blue drag 4 goes with drop 4. Red is drag 1 goes with drop 1. Okay, just make sure you don't make a mistake. If you do make a mistake, the same program is going to be telling you that there is a mistake there, and you would have to change it. Now, after that, you try it. Right? You do make a preview. You would notice if it's correct. Red, yellow, green, and then you hit the button. Check. It's correct. Okay? Now, what happens if, let's see, if I'm going to do it one more time so that I can be able to share it with you. Okay. When I'm done doing it and saving it, if you notice here, this place says share through WhatsApp. You can share it with WhatsApp too. But what else can you do? You can copy the link. I'm copying the link and I'm going to go to your chat and I'm going to be sharing it with you. I'm reading, I need Cricket's app. Could you give me access at the end? Cricket's app is in Play Store, so you can download it. Okay, here you go. Live worksheets. Now I have already shared it with you, and you can try it. And while you're trying it, you're going to be writing yes if it works in the chat, and I'm going to be setting another worksheet for you. In this case, I'm going to be sharing with you on how to use dot to dot. This got a little tricky for me. Let's see. Could you be able to do the live worksheet that I sent you? Yes, Ms. Jocelyn Rodriguez is saying super, thanks. Okay. So, well, you're going to be having the chance of practicing it there. Now let's take a look at this other one. This one was, of course, you can't miss this one because dot to dot is always going to be working really well for preschoolers. Now, what we need to be very, very careful with this is because when you're having a normal dot to dot worksheet, we know students are just going to go and connect one even if we have lines or not. But watch out whenever we are doing it this way, interactively. It really gave me a hard time because the code in this case was join one with join one, right? But in this case, before, I did not have the line in 2 and 3. I only had one line, I think it was from 15 to 1. And whenever I tried it, I had a lot of mistakes. I had like programming mistakes because if I wanted to put join one with join one, and then I wanted to put join two right on top join two, that's where we had conflict. So what I had to do is that I had to pass that worksheet into Paint, and I myself had to draw the other lines. So I did a pattern of one without it, one with a line, one without it, one with a line. And then I tried it. Join one with join one. Join 3, I decided to use join 3 because of the number with join 3. Then join 6 with join 6. Join 8 with join 8. Join 10 and join 8. So we have to be very careful with that. Just have that in mind if you want to try one of those like that. So I'm going to try it. And now here's my pencil. And now I can match. 6 with 7. I was dancing around when I could be able, when I did it, because I was really breaking my head on how could you. But of course we need to stay focused. It's because the codes didn't match. Okay, so now I'm done. I'm clicking finish. Check. And I got 10 out of 10. Okay, so this is different ways that you can be working on how can you make it much more dynamic, right? Okay, and there are even, I'm just going to do one more because of time. I'm going to be sharing you, for example, I used one with, in this case, Dino and Me. Dino and Me, what I did is that, as I think I did mention, you can create your own in Word. You create your own, you upload it, and yes, that's another thing that I'm going to show you, how to upload them. And you can create them. This one is one from Dino and Me, right? From Richmond Dino and Me. And if you notice, I can select 3 o'clock. I'm just randomly going to be doing it, okay? And the same mechanism. How do I do that? Here's the code. Choose. Of course, you select your area. The code is choose, colon, and then you give the options of the answers. And right, of course, 1, in this case I place 1 and then a slant line, 2 and then a slant line. In this case my correct answer is 3, so I place an asterisk. So this is the way that I use to have them, and that's why whenever I tried it, I just click on it and then the windows appear, right? So that I can choose the correct one. Now what happens if I want to create my own? Okay, what I do is that I go to make interactive worksheets. I'm going to I'm just going to click because my battery is going to be running off soon. There you go. Okay, so I click and make interactive worksheets, get started. Here is where I will select my file. So I'm going to be looking for example, in this case, I'm going to look for my files. I will look for these, or you look for the file you wish, and let's see, which one can I choose? Okay, this one, let's say matching. Click on it. Some of them may not most of, not a lot of them, I mean, but some, because of the same copyright situation, may not allow you to do it. But most of them in this area or in this part, you may. So it has been already there. Now let's upload it, and then it will present it to you. Okay, this is matching. This means we have to use the code join, right? So what we do is, again, we limit our area. In this case is 3, 9. I'm just going to do one part. 5 and 7. Okay, and then I'm going to be doing here, limit your space, 3, limit your area. This is the last thing we're going to be doing. And now, as I was mentioning, the code is join. So it's join, a colon, dos puntitos, and where this, in this case, I'm going to write 1 because that's my code, 1. Where now I'm going to go join, where the 3 is, join, colon, 1. Then we have join, colon, 2, where the 9 is, join, colon, 2, join, colon, 3, and I'm going to go with join, colon, 3. Okay, let's say that I'm done. I'm not going to do the others. I am going to have a preview, and then you notice that it's ready when you see the pencil. So you're going to go click here, 9, 9, and then we have 5. And when I want to check it, oops, I'm sorry, I did something wrong. Oh no, what happened? I'll have to do it again. 3 here, 9, 5. Oh no, I made a mistake there. If you notice that I've tried to check in here, it's going to tell me I made a mistake here. No, it's not going to tell me I made a mistake because I only did 2. That's why. Okay? And I have, from the ones that I selected, they are giving you out of 10. Now, you would have to do the conversions, right? If you, depending on the amount of exercises that you'll be choosing. Okay? So this is the way we work with these worksheets. As I was mentioning, there are different ways. By the way, there's a tutorial here too, that of either a video or if you want to read it, you can also see them, right? In this case, look, I even use compass starter here too. What I did is that I took a print shot of my book and I pasted it there too. And I have the different options too there too. So you can be making it much more interactive, okay? So this is the way we can work with these worksheets, okay? And I'm sure that it's gonna be even faster for you. It's gonna make your life much easier. Once again, if you wanna take a picture of the code, is there. A print shot, and it was truly Oscar and dear teachers, a pleasure to be here sharing with you these new tools and these amazing drills that we can use with our students, that I'm sure that you can still keep close with them, right? As much as possible with them. Oscar, thank you for helping me here, and I hope you truly have a very good afternoon. Now, if you did not have the chance to go get your coffee, I think right now would be the chance. Right now, I'm gonna go get mine. Oscar, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Millicent. I really appreciate the time you were with us. And this is the time if you have questions or you want to express some comments for Millie, because I know that your tools, your tips, they help us a lot. Okay, so if you have questions or you want to express something.
I was reading well, some thank you. It was amazing. Thank you very much. I'm reading any other chats. If I want to share the screen to my students to solve the exercises in the same moment online, you can do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Let's see, any other question? I already mentioned the one from Crickets. Yes, you can download the Crickets app. You can download the one from Pictionary 3D. All of the ones that I shared with you there, you can download them too. The only one you can't would be the ones from iTunes.
Yes, and I want to tell you that in Richmond we have different books and we have different platforms. So can you tell us, Millicent, which books do we have in order to give some ideas about what to use? Because we have teachers here from different campaigns, regulars and bilingual campaigns. So tell us which books are the most proper for preschool.
Yes. What if you're asking me as a teacher, not as a consultant, right? As a teacher, and we know that our situation at this point is to have a remote teaching, and it seems it's going to last a little longer, then I would just go for in this case, the one that has platforms. Right now we have, as Richmond's, we have Dino and Me, we have Crickets, Math Adventures, we have even there are some books like I Can Do Math, which is very good too. You can do I Can Do Math, but you can use some tools, right? So that you can make your students use those worksheets to become interactive too, right? So any other that I would remember in this point, Math Adventures, I mentioned Compass Starter, and Compass has its full platform too, you can do different, you saw it too, right? Different interaction, you can assign homeworks. So there are many books in Richmond that we can offer to in preschool that will work very well with you, especially at this point in our situations.
Thank you. And we have one question here. Will you send the presentation in mail? Well, first we have to talk to Carmen, right, the coordinator.
Yes, what I didn't know, what we're doing, Oscar, is that we are downloading it as soon as I'm done and I finish the session. We send it to the marketing department, and the marketing department will do the additions, and they will upload it in the Academic Learning Center from Santillana, a YouTube channel, and you can be able to reproduce it as many times as you wish.
Okay, so Mundo Infantil says thank you and God bless you.
God bless you too.
We have teachers from different schools here, and I think from the city, from Tegucigalpa, and probably for the south, part of Honduras.
Daniel Christian School, I'm reading there.
Daniel Christian School, yes, is from Tegucigalpa.
Great. It was a great moment sharing with you, and we're gonna keep in touch. As I was mentioning, yes, we're gonna be letting you know with your commercials advisors when will the video be set, so you can log into our Academic Learning Center. And by the way, you can even go there and log into our YouTube channel there, called either Santillana Transforma or Academic Learning Center, and you're going to find many illustrated videos, many useful videos with our platforms too and resources.
Thank you. So Nashville School, it's here too. Thank you, Nashville. This is the Divine Stream Christian School. Thanks. And Better Children's School. Yes, Miss Borjas. Miss Borjas is there. Hi, Miss Borjas. I can see you. Thank you. Was it really? We have Victoria Bilingual School from Victoria Joro. Woo.
Wonderful.
Now you are really famous, Millicent.
I really enjoyed the afternoon.
Okay, for all of you, thank you for this time. I really enjoy it. I'm not in preschool, but believe me that I learned a lot, different tools. So thank you, Millicent. Thank you, teachers. And please, Millicent, if you want to say bye-bye, this is your time.
Please keep safe. God bless your lives and the lives of your peers, the lives of your students, your family. Receive from me all my admiration and my prayers.
Okay,
Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Pebbles and Stones from Dan Lee. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Take care and have a good day. Enjoy your dinner. This is coffee time. This is coffee time and dinner. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
See you another time.